Assalamualaikum and hi Year 3 students, all the boys of Year 3. How are you guys? Okay, so in this online lesson, I want to continue teaching on topic forces. Topic 15, forces. But before I start with the new subtopic, let us do some revision of the things that we have learned previously. Okay, so everybody can turn to page 51, 52 and 53 for now. Okay, so firstly, let's recap about the relative position. So relative position, it is referring to the words used to describe the position of the object. So meaning that we use the words to state the position of the object relative to another object or a background. So precise locations and directions are needed in many situations. The example of relative position can be behind, left, right, above, and also below. Okay, also in your exercise book, I've given the notes about relative position. There are plenty of the words that I gave to describe the relative position. So apart from these words shown in your textbook, you guys can also refer to the exercise book too. Okay. So I hope no question relating to this. Okay, if you still have any, you guys can ask me or ask your parents to text in the Year 3 class WhatsApp group. Okay, moving on. For the forces to cause an object to move. So in this topic, it is about force. So what is a force? Force is actually something that is used to move object. Okay, a force is actually something done by human or done by any moving thing. Okay, so the uses of force can be many, but first let us look at what is a force. Okay, a force can be a push or a pull on an object, and a force can cause an object to move. So, what the first example? The wings of seagull push the air downwards as it flies in the sky. So, this bird push the air, so for it to fly. What about this man? This man has to pull his fishing rod to get his catch out of the water. So, by using the rods and tackle, he has to pull his fishing rod to make sure that whatever that he catch that day, he can get out of the water. He can bring that fish or anything out of the water. Okay. Next one, the girl. The girl who's kicking the ball. So the girl applies a force when she kicks the ball. The force causes the ball to start moving. So all of these actions are using a push or a pull. So a push or a pull is actually a type of force that can use to move object. Okay, so far clear, right? Okay, moving on. Changing the movement of an object. So, just now we learned about a force. It can be a push or a pull. So, a force can make an object to change speed, to move faster or slower. A force can also change the direction in which it is moving. Other than that, a force can stop object from moving. So, let's see how a force can make the object change the movement. So, firstly, when the girl applies a force to kick the moving ball, the ball moves faster. So, this one is a force can help to change the speed of the object. Next one, when a man applies a force to hit the ball moves in another direction. So this one, it is referring to the second bullet, which is change direction of the baseball. Next one, in soccer, the goalkeeper applies a force to catch the ball so that the ball will stop moving. So in these three situations, a force can be used to change the speed of the object, change the direction of the object, and also stop object from moving. Okay? Okay, next page. Page 55. Wind and water can also move objects. Because why? Wind and water produces force. They can cause objects to move. They can also change the movement of objects. Okay, let's see how wind produce force to move the leaves or the plants. Okay, the wind is producing force to use the leaves. The wind is producing force to cause the leaves and plants to move. It takes a greater force to start moving a heavier object. This explains why the house and car do not move. So a normal wind cannot move heavy object like the house or the car. Instead, like the heavy tornado or hurricane can move the house or car, because tornado and hurricane carry wind at a much faster speed. Okay, greater force. Okay, the last one, the wind is blowing on sailboats on the water. Together, wind and water cause the sailboat to move. So sailboats using the wind to move. So if there is no wind, the sailboat cannot move, because it is depending on the wind and also water to move it. Okay? So that's all for part 2. It's just a recap and revision about the subtopic that we have learned before. So I'll see everyone again in part 2.